Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some updates for the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to talk about the Eagles secondary being probably the marquee position defensively that's going to play really well this year, and what Jonathan Gannon has to do to make this a huge success defensively. Other updates, and obviously talking about some special teams as well. So let's get straight into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Well, we're middle of the week here, and there is so much to talk about because this defense, I'm telling you, could get so much better. My God, they could be so good. It could get so much better. Like, these little changes have to be made to how the game plan is called and how they prepare themselves every single week. This Eagles secondary could be one of the best. I think they definitely showed it this past game. Even though Big Play Slay allowed one touchdown, he had a pretty good day. Okay, even when you talk about James Bradberry, that had 38 snaps, was only targeted 6 times and only allowed a 13-yard pass, and he had a pick 6 on top of it, which I thought Bradberry played really good. Not even just that, but Bradberry had a really good training camp. We brought him in as a number 2. I mean, we literally got him for nothing. We really did. We walked away from the Giants because the Giants didn't want to pay him, and got to Philadelphia, and I thought he was a total steal for a guy that gave up over 800 yards last year in a really bad Giants defense and has been a Pro Bowler since 2020. Bradberry really showed in that first game what he could do, and I'm excited for even more weeks ahead when it comes to this secondary, and James Bradberry has done a fantastic job. Even, he's locked down A.J. Brown during training camp. Even, got on the bad side of Devontae Smith a couple of times. I mean, he's done a good job. He's put these receivers to work and made it very hard for these receivers during camp. And I was hoping to God that it would translate into the NFL, and I hope he does a lot more. I think that was his first pick 6 of his career, I think, from what I saw from the TV. I was kind of surprised, to be honest with you, if I didn't remember he got a pick 6 with the Giants or whatnot. But that was his first pick 6, surprisingly. And with Big Play Slay really only giving up that one touchdown to G.J. Chark, I thought he had a good game. Vontae Maggs had a good game. Really, I thought the secondary played really well. Even when you have, Garner Johnson was another one. We just acquired him, 10 days. Well, at that time it was 10 days before that, and then 10 days, that's how he played. I mean, I think he missed a tackle or two, but he hasn't been really acclimated to this defense yet. And I mean, I think the chemistry is really good. I think he gets along with the guys really well, but I think Garner Johnson's just going to play better. I think with more time with this team this year, I think he'll be fine. And Marcus Epps was just a physical specimen on the field, not only tackling hard, but he really gives his presence really well. And I'm looking for a very good year from him this year, and it's really showing that he worked his tail off last year, and the respect that I had to give him last year, because I really haven't been a big Marcus Epps fan. I really haven't been, but I had to give her respect where respect was due, and he earned it last year, and he earned the starting spot this year, and he had a pretty good game so far. So the Eagles secondary definitely on my mind going into this year. If only you can get a pass rush. Get a pass rush. Give the guys the right amount of snaps and fit these linebackers in those open gaps, fill those holes. But just making sure that, look, it's hand in hand. Pressure from your defensive line to your secondary coverage, it's hand in hand, guys. When we brought the blitz, my God, I mean, Jared Goff had nowhere to go. You got to stop respecting these quarterbacks. You got to get these guys. This defense has to get off the field. I thought they were gassed. I thought, especially the defensive line was already struggling enough on top of, Jared Goff getting some third downs, kind of drive killers and getting some drives right there. It really killed us in the end. But they held up. They fought back, which is a good thing. And really, these cornerbacks, this secondary in general, is really up to Jonathan Gannon and how they use him. We have very good players on paper when it comes to our secondary. And not to mention that Gannon 2 years ago was a cornerback coach from the Indianapolis Colts. So he knows how to use these corners really well, but I mean, he's coached them. But when it came down to taking his foot off the pedal in the third quarter and him admitting to taking his foot off the gas with a 17-point lead and being comfortable, it really pissed me off because this secondary could do so much more. When you play prevent too early, soft zone coverage, putting these cornerbacks, the secondary 10 to 15 yards back, it really hurts just everything that you're doing. And why are you sitting there saying to yourself, let's just be comfortable and allow this team to get off the line of scrimmage between their wide receivers and their tight ends and getting free releases and getting big chunk yards, even though if you don't give up the big play. And not to mention when they played in prevent, the tackling just got worse on the open field tackling, and they got more yards out of it. So really you're being cautious, but you're giving up more yards by playing prevent at the end of the day. So it really fits into the defensive line, getting pressure, filling those holes, and then the linebackers kind of filling those gaps. And I'm telling you, this defense could be so good. This isn't 100% of what we're going to see this year. I'm hoping that he fixes these mistakes because really at the end of the day, it's going to take the eye test every game. It's not going to take much for me to say what they're doing and how they're playing, okay? If I don't see a blitz, if I don't see a stun, it's going to be a problem. And I'm telling you, you have the secondary to do it. You got to get this defensive line on the right pace right now. You got to do it because this is going to be a long, long season. And unfortunately, if this happens every single game, we're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the offense. Okay, I have a lot more faith in this offense, but I see greatness with this defense going forward. I really do. But Gannon has got to get out of this funk that he's in. It's just getting annoying to the point where when I know this guy is dropping people back when we have a lead, it's a problem. Okay, with Jared Goff, Jared Goff is nothing to me. I'm not afraid of Jared Goff. That's why going to this Vikings game that I'll definitely talk about on Friday for the preview video, you give Kirk Cousins time to throw the ball, I am telling you he's going to take us apart limb by limb. With Justin Jefferson already getting 183 yards, I could see this guy getting 215, 220 on us if they play like that. And I'm hoping that we see a big turnaround with this defense come Monday night, especially at the Link, home opener in front of our fans. That's what's going to be more important about that. I'm glad it's the home opener. I'm glad it's definitely a big step up from the Lions. And I know that a lot of these teams around the league the first week of the season had the first game jitters. A lot of these teams didn't play their starters, so there was a lot of sloppiness with a lot of teams. There were teams that weren't supposed to be superior teams. But, these things happen. Which team is more prepared? Since the Eagles get their first win, and I kind of like, the one thing I could take out of this game against the Lions is that they dealt with the adversity and, they got out of it. They showed some resiliency at the end of that game, not giving up. And obviously, I mean, like I said, most of it is on Jonathan Gannon's shoulders, okay? What these players do. When I see Hassan Reddick only playing 68% of the snaps, only blitzing 3 times in one game, yeah, it's a little bit of a problem. Why is there no pressure from this defensive line? Who's to blame? Is it Tracy Rocker? Is it Gannon? I don't know what it is. I'm still trying to figure out how they're just not getting pressure. Do they have to move guys around? I mean, I don't get it. Not a pressure from Graham. They had one pressure where Jared Goff moved around the pocket and he scrambled for a first down. That was the only time. And the only sack that we got is when he dropped the ball after it was delivered to him. I mean, he dropped the ball and it gave us an extra 2 seconds to get to Jared Goff. You can't just get 1 sack off of a muffed ball from a quarterback that falls to the ground. I mean, that's just embarrassing. This defense has so much more to give, and Jonathan Gannon is not giving it. Because I'm telling you right now, if this happens the next 3-4 weeks, I definitely 100% think that they will fire him on the spot. No joke. Because at the end of the day, Howie Roseman did not hire Jonathan Gannon. Nick hired his own coaching staff. Okay, this is on Nick at the end of the day. And I don't think Nick is going to get fired or anything like that. But Gannon is just, Howie Roseman has given you a brand new defense on a silver platter with so many new pieces. Not only, remember we went to the first preseason game, the 3 immediate impacts with Cam Jurgens, Nakobe Dean, and Jordan Davis. You had some immediate impacts going into this game against the Lions with Kaiser White with a couple tackles, the deflection to James Bradbury. I mean, even Jordan Davis in the 22 snaps he was in, they rushed 13, 14 times against Jordan Davis for 43, 44 yards. So he did something. And maybe they need to move Fletch back in the lineup. Maybe Jordan Davis has to move up to the first lineup next to Javon Hargrave because, I feel like, I know it's a rotational defensive line. Every 4 to 5 plays, they rotate. They want to keep their guys fresh. But if they don't keep their guys off the field, they can't make these stops on crucial third downs, which they were pretty bad at, in that second half against the Lions. They're going to be gassed. And especially with Jordan Davis, he's definitely going to be gassed. There's no doubt about it. So, like I said, I see a lot of greatness with this defensive line. I see the talent. The talent's there. The coaching just sucks. That's just what it is at the end of the day. Now, next I kind of want to talk about real quick is going into Britton Covey. Okay, so Michael Clay, the special teams coach, talked about Britton Covey just looking like a veteran out there. And to be honest, I kind of want to look closely at Britton Covey when he was getting these punt returns, and I actually liked what I saw. Like he would get, he kind of went through the little space a little bit here and there. It was like a 15-yarder, but he kind of went through some space a little bit and ran a little bit. And I feel like there's something there with him. I feel like he's going to break one this year. Somehow, some way, it's going to happen. Obviously, maybe he'll try Allen, maybe Devin Allen down the road, but I like Covey. I feel like there's something there. I just feel like he needs more reps at punt return. He just needs more reps in general, period. I don't think Covey's ever going to be a receiver, even going to the Lions game. There were some people saying, will Covey get reps at receiver? I said, no, definitely not. It's definitely not going to happen. He's just going to be a punt returner, and that's it. So, Quez is on the kick returns with Kenneth Gainwell, so, I don't mind that, but is it my favorite thing to do? I would put Allen or Covey. I would have Covey do double duty. At this point, why not? Just give him more playing time. He's not tired. A punt is after a few plays, so, he's got the energy to do it all game, so I don't know why they can't make him do double duty, but, I thought he looked okay. I feel like it's going to take some time, but I feel like he could be something on the special teams unit, which we desperately need. We need a return specialist, and I think you have something with him, which I'm really happy about. And lastly, the news on Awosika. He has been claimed by the Detroit Lions, so he will be picked up. He will not be here anymore. Lions picked him up, and that's pretty much it. So just a little bit on the transfer wire. Going through a practice squad, and the Lions need another offensive lineman. So, other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm excited to see what happens this Monday night. We're going to be talking more about the Vikings, the matchup, stuff like that this week. I will be at the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll definitely have more news tomorrow on the Philadelphia Eagles and some updates as well. So other than that, guys, leave a comment in the comment section below about how do you feel about the secondary? How do you feel about this defense now after obviously a few days of the Lions game and kind of thinking through everything? You guys let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Chicks, what up? Follow Slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.